All right. So today I'm going to teach you about what a framework is, and I'm going to talk to you a little bit about the framework that we'll be using in this class. A framework is a style sheet that you use over and over again on many web pages. The idea is that if you spend some time creating or learning a framework, you will be a faster and more efficient web developer. We will learn to use a widely used industry standard framework called Bootstrap. Okay, the Bootstrap framework is the most popular open source framework that's used all over the web. Being that it is open source means that it is freely open for you to edit, for you to use on your websites, for you to use for monetary gain. It was developed and is maintained by folks that work at Twitter, and it is super, super common. If you start looking at some of the websites that you frequent, you might actually be able to see that it's actually being used by them. This website right here, www.getbootstrap.com, is where you can go to download Bootstrap. It's where you can go to find the documentation. The documentation will become really important when we're doing things that are new and we want to read about how do I use this specific style element, and how do we learn to use their framework. So we'll go visit that in a little bit, but it's a good idea for you to maybe bookmark that website. Okay, let's talk about what the Bootstrap framework offers. It offers styles for tables, for lists, for headings, for buttons, anchor tags. It has styling for navigation bars that you've seen. So instead of just a plain old link with an underline, you can actually have a navigation bar. It has slideshows. So like if you wanted a carousel of pictures that flipped through on your page, it has things called modals and cards and much, much more. The big thing that we're going to be using first is the grid layout. The grid layout that Bootstrap has makes it really easy for us to position and size different elements on the page. So the grid layout is going to be very important for us. The other thing that Bootstrap does is it makes your website, or can make your website, mobile friendly. I'm sure you've noticed that some web pages look different when you access them on a computer screen versus when you access them on your phone. Twitter, this is obviously in the forefront of people's mind at Twitter because Twitter is an app that's primarily used from people's cell phones. So they want it to look good on the cell phone. Well, Bootstrap is automatically mobile friendly, and it will resize and reposition elements based on the size of the screen. So that's going to be really helpful. The fact that Bootstrap can automatically adjust to the size of your screen. When we're using Bootstrap, the framework, what you're going to need to do is you're going to link to a CSS document called bootstrap.css. And we'll take a look at what that bootstrap.css document has in it. It looks exactly the same as the style.css that we wrote, except it has quite a bit more options and selectors and properties and values, things that we haven't even scratched the surface of learning yet. So we'll want to link to that Bootstrap style sheet in the head of our HTML document. The bootstrap.css link should come before your own style.css link, and I'll show you how that works when we look at an example in a second. Some of the more advanced features that Bootstrap offers will require additional JavaScript and jQuery links as well. We're going to link to those through a CDN, or what's called a content delivery network. All you need to know for now is that if you're going to use some of these more advanced features like the navigation bars or the carousels, the image carousel, you want to make sure that you have these optional script tags at the bottom of your HTML documents. Those are things that I just copy and paste from Bootstrap's website, paste it into my own website. So for now, let's go look at what this Bootstrap style.css folder is. So right now, I'm in a REPL that has an index.html page, and it has a CSS folder. In there, I have two items. One is my style.css, and you can tell that all I did was make the background color dark sea green. And in the bootstrap.css file, this is the CSS framework from Twitter or from getbootstrap.com. I have included it here. So we start to look down and it can see it's got all these different classes, call-medium 9. It's got all of these different styles, right? It's about 10,000 lines of code for this one style document. Table heads, it will, style the headers of tables a specific way, and it can do a lot. So we'll just leave it at that for now. There's no way that I'm going to expect you guys to memorize everything that's here. The important part is that you can come to their website, getbootstrap.com, like I said, and you can find the documentation tag or the get started tag and start reading about how do I actually use this framework. So this is a way to link to their style sheet, which is the same that I just pasted into our document. Here are those optional script tags that I talked about. You should be able to copy those and paste them into any document that you want. Or you can use their starter template, which includes your doc type and your script tags and a link to the CSS page. And it starts talking about these different pieces that they need. We talked about adjusting based on screen size. If you want your website to automatically adjust based on screen size, you're going to need to add this responsive meta tag. And this tells the computer what size screen you're looking at. All of that's included in this starter template. It's also included in this in my REPL that I will share with you. And for now, the big thing to understand is that you're going to have an additional style sheet, one called bootstrap.css and one called style.css. This is one that you can edit. The bootstrap.css file, I would not edit this. I would just try to use those in your index.html page. And in making sure that in my HTML page, I have two links. The first link is the link to the bootstrap.css, and the second link is the link to my style.css. Okay, so if we're going to use Bootstrap, we have to put those two files into my CSS folder, and we have to link to them in the head of any HTML document. All right.